So let's say there's someone watching us right now, listening, and they're like, oh yeah, I want to start this now. But they don't have access to, a trainer, a coach. They just, they have access to a gym. What are like basic, we've talked about the basic things, but what are basic things, but that's not gonna cause them the risk of getting injured because no one is watching them.
Right.
What are things that they can do from the get-go?
If you're gonna go to a gym and you're kind of by yourself, structure it in a way that you start with the most muscles used first, right? The most fatiguing stuff needs to be at your freshest state. So like if you were gonna go in there and clean, it needs to start first. One, because it's explosive, like you wanna be at your freshest state to do it your best. Something that's gonna have the most technique needs to be at the beginning of the workout.
You say that because once they're fatigued, risky.
Yeah, it's very risky. And it's like if you start out with single joint exercises, like you start out with curls or leg extensions, stuff like that, and then you work down into like a squat, you just pre-fatigued your muscles. So now maybe either you're not gonna hit the weight that you wanted, or your technique is gonna bust earlier in the set.
And that's injury waiting to happen.
Yeah, and if you're doing complex movements like that later in the lift, it is a very big risk. So you wanna start with those, that way you're at your freshest state and you get the most out of it, right? And then as your workout goes on, you can start moving into single joint exercises, something that is like if you have a bad shoulder, you wanna work shoulder raises or just work that shoulder in general later in the workout. So because it isn't that complex, like it's more simple, like it could just be a lat pull down, right, with one arm, and that's very simple. It doesn't take a lot, it's not a lot of technique. You don't need a lot of coaching on that. Whereas like if I was coaching you on a clean or a squat or a press or a row, something like that, something that needs coaching, you would want to do that right away, where your attention to detail is very fresh, right? And so if you go into a gym, you want to hit one of the pretty much all 5 basic movements, right? And then you just depend on what the emphasis of the day is. So if today my emphasis is a squat, the first thing I'm gonna do is squat. If on Wednesday it's a bench, I'm gonna bench. If on Friday it's a clean, the first thing I'm gonna do is clean. So whatever the emphasis of that day is, you wanna start with it, right? Because that is the most important. That's what you're trying to get out of that day.
Yeah, that's great for them. Even for myself, as you're talking right now, I'm like, do I need to change my program right now? That's good to know. Thank you so much for watching, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, please subscribe down below. And if you're interested to learn more and watch the full interview, click down here. I'll catch you soon. Have a good one.